In this video, we'll look at user-controlled motion paths to characters in our storyline learning games. Part 2 to this series will examine user-initiated motion paths. With all that in mind, it's time to bring back our little penguin friend, Albert. Let's go ahead and name Albert in the timeline. Now, we want Albert to be entirely controlled by the user, and in this scene, we want him to be able to move to the left or right and jump. So we will need to add 3 motion paths to Albert. Motion paths are considered animations, so we're going to need to go to the Animation tab. From there, you'll see an icon with a blue star and text below it that reads Add Motion Path. With Albert selected, we'll click Add Motion Path and select Lines. Let's go ahead and name this pathway Left. Click in the text entry field beside the pencil icon and name. Highlight the text, type in Left, and click Out. This is not something you're required to do, but it will help out in a little bit when we add triggers to activate the various motion pathways. Since we're doing the left path first, let's go ahead and adjust that. Click on the drop-down menu under Path Options and select Left. Our slightly transparent penguin will move on our screen 180 pixels, which is honestly too far. Pushing the button just one time will take him off screen, and that is going to make movement very clunky and inexact. Let's change the length to 5 pixels and adjust the duration to 0.5 seconds. Now that we have the direction, length, and time set, we need to add a trigger to make the animation occur. Click on the white paper in the Trigger menu to create a trigger. Select the Action field and change Jump to Slide to Move. Next, we select our object, which is Albert, and we want to move him along left. When do we want to do this? The default is when the timeline starts on Albert, which means that as soon as Albert appears on the slide, he'll move left, and that is not what we want. We want Albert to move when the user presses a key. Click in the white box that appears and push the key you would like to make Albert move. I'll use the left arrow. By touching the left arrow on my keyboard while I'm in that field, Storyline will recognize the left arrow will trigger this pathway. We're almost done. The default setting says after clicking on Albert, but we don't want the user to have to click on Albert before moving him. Change that last field to this slide. Now there is one more setting we need to adjust before we are done with the left pathway, but let's take a look at what we have so far. Click on Preview and select this slide. Click Left. Now click it again. Albert is moving to the left, but each time we click the left arrow, he moves back to the right one spot before moving left again. So his position is stuck. We need him to be able to move all over the screen, not repeat the same motion over and over again. Let's close the preview mode and make one last adjustment to finish this pathway. Click on Albert, go to Animations again. Click the little red circle to open the left motion path back up and select Path Options drop-down menu again. Click on Relative Start Point. This will allow Albert to move 5 pixels to the left from his current location instead of his default location, which is what we want. Let's go back to the preview mode to see the difference. So I'm just going to hold down the left arrow, and you can see he keeps moving. Bye, Albert. Your turn. Exit the preview mode, click on Albert, and select Add Motion Path. Make Albert move to the right 5 pixels from his relative location in half a second using the right arrow key. When you're finished, open the preview mode to ensure the motion pathway is working properly. If you get stuck, go back and look at the steps we did for the left path. Pause the video here. Welcome back. That wasn't so bad, right? Right? Get it? You went right? Sorry, I apologize. Now we need Albert to jump. We want him to help jump just high enough to hit that yellow box with the top of his head, and no more. Penguins are flightless birds after all. Now, we can guess and check the height, or we can just add a shape that will give us the right distance without having to think too much about it. Go to Insert, Shape, and select a rectangle. Let's put our cursor in line with the bottom of the boxes and drag it down until Storyline lets us know that we're in line with the top of Albert's head. The dimensions that are showing up now indicate the height of the box is 25 pixels, so it is 25 pixels from the bottom of the box to the top of Albert's head. If you had difficulty seeing those dimensions or get confused about which is length and which is height, you can also select the shape, go to Format under Drawing Tools, and look over to the shape's dimensions on the right. Storyline is telling us that the height of the selected object, in this case the box, is 25 pixels. Alright, click on Albert again and select Animations. We'll add another motion pathway. Select Line. Rename the path to Jump. Adjust the time to 0.5 seconds. Under Path Options, we're going to pick Up, Relative Start Point, and we're going to add one more this time, Reverse Path Direction. We need to add this so that after Albert jumps, gravity kicks in and he goes back down. Otherwise, he'll be able to keep going up until he's off the screen, and that is just unnatural for Aptenodytes forsteri. Look at that. You came here for Storyline tips and got a little science thrown in as a bonus. Lucky you. Now Albert is still jumping out of the gym. We need him to be a little bit more penguin and a little less like Mike. Earlier, we learned that he needs to jump 26 pixels. So let's go ahead and fix that. Click on Length and change the default of 180 pixels to 26. Alright, let's add the trigger and check this out. Action is move, object is Albert, path is jump, when the user presses up on this slide. Okay, let's try it out. Albert can move left, he can move right, and he can jump. Looks like we're good to go here. The next step of this build will be to add a user-initiated motion path to a special surprise that's in the golden box and use triggers to adjust states of objects on the slide.